Why is it that you keep going back to square one? It can be really frustrating and it can be quite demoralizing actually if you're trying to achieve something but for whatever reason you just can't break through, you just can't make it a reality. And you know what, it doesn't matter what area of your life we're talking about here, whether it's your health and your fitness, whether it's in your relationships, or whether it's in your career or in your business. When we want to achieve something, it's usually because we've had a moment where we feel like we have to make a change. But here's the thing, that exact process in our minds might be the exact reason why we keep going back to square one. Look, trust me, I've had this so many times in my own life, and you know, throughout my life and my career, I have been someone who hunts down their goals, who wants to achieve things. You know, I'm sat here in my own gym that I've owned since 2012. There's medals on the wall here that I've won from Sport Jiu-Jitsu, represented my country. I've got a Guinness World Record. I've got, you know, family, 2 children. I've achieved a lot of things in my life, but I can guarantee you this. I have learned the hard way because I've gone back to square one many a time. There have been moments where I've taken 3 steps forward and I've taken 3 steps back, sometimes 4 steps back. So you're not alone in this. And I want you to understand by the end of this video that your success is often the other side of this frustration. And this frustration is the vehicle that brings you to places like this video, for example, to help you figure out what it is you need to learn next in order to give you something different and approach a situation differently. And then that over time will lead towards a successful result. I truly believe that. And I really hope that you can by the time you've watched this. I also know, having coached hundreds of people over the years and doing things like an NLP coaching course in 2012, investing a lot of time in understanding how human emotions work and what causes us to sabotage our own progress, I also know that this stuff is a case of learning and applying. It might feel like it's impossible and that it's out of reach, but it's not. You can achieve the goals that you want to achieve. You can make those changes a reality. So without further ado, let's get in. I'll teach you something which is going to move you forwards. It's very subtle, it's very simple, but often the best catalysts for change are. So here we go. People are motivated primarily by 2 things. Number 1 is the avoidance of pain and uncomfortable situations, wanting to make a change because you just don't want to be where you are anymore. And the other is because you're attracted towards a pleasurable outcome, an outcome that you would like and that would feel good. Now, in most cases, it's the painful, uncomfortable motivation that gets us going. And the way that I like to explain this, it's almost like a rocket trying to leave a planet. It's trying to push against gravity, and it's using all that energy and all that determination to get itself off the planet, get away from the planet, into space and outside of that atmosphere. Now, that's like our pain motivation. So we just want to change it. We want to get away. We want to throw everything at it. But what happens is, because we're motivated from the avoidance of pain, we get to a certain point where we don't know where we're going. And that's like a rocket going out of the gravitational pull and then just being in space, just floating aimlessly into space. Now, of course, eventually that rocket will get pulled back into the gravitational pull of that planet, come crashing down and be worse off than where it was when it took off in the first place. Hence, coming back to square one. Now, what we need to do is re-navigate our motivation and our focus so that we can use all that great power and energy of that painful motivation to get away from something, but we have to do something really important. And that is, we must switch our focus from pain to pleasure. Once we're outside of that gravitational pull, we get away from where we didn't want to be, get a little bit of initial momentum, we then need to start programming our minds to what we are trying to achieve and where we are trying to go. So we can do some simple things to help ourselves in that situation. One is one that I've done even this week. We can take a page in our journal, or we can take a page of a piece of paper even, ready to put it on the wall so that we can see it all the time, and we can write down 4 achievable outcomes. Now, what I mean by this is stuff that you can see yourself actually doing and achieving in the next 6 months. I'm not talking necessarily about the finished article. So using the old analogy of a marathon, I'm not saying that you would have run a marathon by 6 months, but what I'm saying is you might have done 10 miles and you've never done that before. Maybe you've invested a little bit of time with a coach to help you to understand what you must eat and how you must train to complete the marathon. These would be achievable steps along the way that would give you an indication that you are making progress. You can write these 4 things down. Now look, you might achieve these 4 things way before you get to 6 months time, right? Then that's okay, because you just re-navigate again. Because look, a spaceship, a rocket, as it's going through space, it uses its little rocket blasters to keep it moving in the right direction. It's never just going perfectly towards its destination. You're gonna have to re-navigate and recalibrate sometimes. So be a little bit more flexible, be less worried about perfection and more focused on progression. So write down 4 things that you would feel pretty good about. You know, they would be pretty good to achieve, that you can do in the next 6 months in whatever area of your life you're trying to achieve your goals in. Don't worry about the end result. We don't necessarily know that yet, but we want to know which direction we're going in. And that's what these 4 things are going to give you. So I really hope that this video has connected with you. Keep doing your best, right? Because that's all you can ever do. The fact that you're watching this is a great indication that you are someone who wants the best for themselves. It's my purpose and my job to help you lead yourself towards a better place so that you can live your potential and succeed in all the things that are possible for you in your life. Now, if you like this sort of thing and you've enjoyed this video, then hit subscribe, because that way, whenever I make a new one, you will know firsthand, so you can come in and start learning again. I want to move you and me and everyone else towards our best leading version of ourselves, and we can do that together, because you know what? The world is a better place when you're the best version of you. So thanks for watching, hit subscribe, I'll see you in the next one.